to begin.
Oh, yeah. We're good, right? Okay, cool. Whoa, what's up? What's up, everybody?
What's up? What's up, guys?
Yeah, it's been a few weeks, but you guys, we're back. We are back. And today I have Angel. El hombre. The man.
What's up,
man?
guys? I don't even know where to look. I'll just look at you. What's up, man?
Yeah, anywhere. You can look anywhere. Everybody's just watching us right now. Whoever is watching.
Yeah.
But what's up, Angel? It's been a while since you came on here. Thank you for just coming in last minute.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I know we had Myra from Leche. She was gonna be coming in today, but she had some important emergencies in regards to her business and everything. So, hey, thank you for everything, and we'll see you in a few weeks. But thank you. So, but again, I didn't want to make it all crazy here, but I still want to kind of talk about what we were gonna briefly talk with her while she was gonna, when she did make it in here. Hold on, I'm just trying to look for the little volume thing here. Oh, there it is. Wait, that's not it. Oh, here it is. All right, cool. I felt like I was screaming into my ear. But yeah. So, anyways, I still want to kind of briefly talk about some of the topics I want to touch base with her. How do we get started? Let's see. So her company is Leche. They're basically like a coffee, like an alternative, dairy-free alternatives to coffees, cafe con leches and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to give in too much about the company because I'm not the person who
Yeah.
who made it. So she has more information in regards to this. But some of the stuff that we did want to talk about was the idea of finding alternatives to meats, dairy. Basically trying to see what the vegan style of diet is. So again, we're not professionals here, and this is all just based on information that we've taken the time to kind of look on, read about, and then kind of form our own opinions on. So without much to say after that, let's start with our lab-grown meats here. So for beginners, I'm not a vegan. I'm partially maybe a 30% vegan,
Yeah.
So a lot of my diet still, has a lot of meat consumption. Although over the last couple of months, I've done my pretty best, I would say, at least in, what I could do to reduce that consumption and, kind of learn why I'm doing it and have better, arguments if somebody does question the reasons why I still, am the way I am.
Yeah.
But, I wanted to start off with just saying that, everybody has their own choice in regards to how they want to, eat their way out of life, their lifestyles.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately it's up to you to decide and make the decision upon yourself if you want to go that route or if you want to change your diet. But, so, starting that off, so lab-grown meats, Angel.
Yeah,
So
sure.
for people who don't know, there's a lot of people recently who have been trying to find alternatives for meat. Whether it's for personal reasons, whether it's for the environment, whether it's because they're, really, caring for the animals and their suffering that they go through in regards to trying to get them to our plates every day. And, lately, as climate change has been a bigger topic in regards to everybody, it's become more of a, how can I say it?
A hot topic in the source.
Yeah, hot topic. It's been more, the talking points right now to trying to see how we can curb that climate change. And one of them happens to be meat consumption. And, basically anything that has to do with the agriculture and the livestock that we currently know as of right now. So one of these alternatives is lab-grown meat. Now, that sounds fucking weird from the get-go, because
that's like a pretty hard alternative for most people at this point, I think.
I think about it and it just seems alien to me. Like, you're just growing fucking animal muscles, out of animal cells and creating meat for you to consume, to basically not change your diet, but you're just changing how the meat is being brought into your plate.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
How do you feel about that?
Dude, I don't know.
Meat.
I don't think I'll eat it anytime soon, for sure. Because, again, I mean, I'm really, vague in the process of it. From what I've read is, they take animal cells from an animal.
Yeah.
And they start basically trying to multiply them and grow them into muscle cells that grow into animal muscle. Yeah. And from there, they use it as regular animal product. And I think one of the things that we were reading earlier says something like, I think a sample from one cow can yield up to 80,000, lab-grown meat burgers.
Yeah.
But they're supposed to be the equivalent of a meat patty. The only thing is that it's not being tortured. It's not being, fucking grown to be killed. And, everything else that goes into the whole producing of animal livestock. So, I don't know. I think it's still really weird, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll eat it because, everything that you're fucking with type of thing, there's going to be some sort of consequences into the stuff that you are causing to your body, especially if it's something that's not naturally made.
Yeah, that's a really interesting one with the whole, I guess, meat without a body, or I don't know, would it be like meat without soul? Like, just like soulless flesh, almost in a way, like.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that point. I mean, because you got to think about it. If the animal's getting killed, and that's the problem. A lot of us are really disconnected in regards to how we get the meat. Like we go to the store and we're just seeing the cut slices made to look nice, to look appetizing, but you're not seeing what goes into the whole process, like taking the animal. I think you've told me before you've had like experiencing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But you bring the animal out and you just fucking do its thing. You fucking kill it. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's a whole nother experience. Like going through the full circle, like maybe growing the animal or like raising it and then taking it to life and then eating it. Like that's way different than just buying like a steak at the store. Like they're two different things.
Yeah, right. There's no emotional.
It's like I feel like I was telling you earlier. I feel like the disconnect kind of like helps people in a way, like be okay with consuming as much meat or more meat or American diet. Like most people, I think most of the country just eats out of a supermarket. Like the percentage of people hunting probably their own game is like very low, and
I think we mentioned it too. I think the moment we have to be put in a position of getting that food for ourselves, I think our consumption will drop. Because again, how many of us do you think have the heart? I mean, after a few times, maybe you'll get a little synthesized for it.
Yeah.
But it's gonna take a long time for you to just kind of get over the fact that you have to kill your own animal and see the pain in its eyes. I'm not saying not to eat meat, okay, people. I'm not. I'm just being fucking. Trying to be in the balance right here. But obviously, when you're seeing that, you're gonna have more connection to that animal. Like, oh fuck, maybe I shouldn't kill Betsy. Like, I'll keep her for a few months and something.
Yeah, but and if you do go through with it, it's also about like paying the animal some kind of respect because you're taking its life, and maybe at that point you don't want to just like throw stuff away or waste stuff. Like you're killing the animal, so you might as well like eat most of it or use it all as much as you can, And I feel like regular factory farming, the kind of it's there's a lot of like byproducts that come out of there that if it was like in a single ranch or in a single kind of scenario, the animal would probably be utilized way more to a better degree than just mass making steaks or all these other things that are like, they don't get the same attention. You don't get the same quality, or like it's probably not as healthy as another option.
Yes, I mean I think that's where people, at least that's been the talking point. Like for example, like in right now, like the political climate we're in, that's one thing. Like they got to find a way to curb climate change, because according to scientists, by the year 2050, if we continue the way we're going, humanity's fucked. Earth will still be here, but as humans, we're gonna see some changes, and I'm sure we'll evolve to kind of survive our environment.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a different type of human.
There's gonna be a lot of stress on the population number that it's now.
For sure.
It's gonna be hard to keep up that number.
Yeah, and a lot of the talking points have been because of the cows produce methane gas when they fart or burp. So all those gases. When you think about it, it's not just one cow. It's fucking millions of cows, either collectively or in different parts of the country that are being raised, and there's these gases, fucking going into the air and just making basically, along with the, what is it called? Fossil fuel burning and all that bullshit that's just contaminating the climate. It just adds to it, and ultimately at the end, that's just going to affect us. And so the reality of the thing is people have been trying to lower those meat consumptions. Or I don't think they've been trying to do it, but right now they're trying to find alternatives, like we've been saying with these lab-grown meats, where, okay, maybe we don't have to have a full animal, feed it, have it produce all these gases in order for us to bring meat to the table. and we just grow it in a fucking lab.
Yeah, it's like a substitute for somebody who's like maybe not trying to go full vegan route and not consume meat anymore, but maybe they're aware of the carbon footprint of like eating regular beef.
Yeah.
And maybe this comparison to them would be their alternative. You know, like maybe they choose not to partake in, vegan dishes.
Yeah.
They could go ahead and have something like this, but like you were telling me earlier that the cost of this meat is still very high. Like they're still working on making it more accessible, I guess, for people or whatever. But
yeah,
just the whole idea of that is kind of trippy to me. Like I think about like this, does it? I don't know. It's just, I guess I don't understand it that well to like.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, going back to the price that you said, in 2013, it says when a burger made from lab-grown meat was presented to journalists, the patty cost more than $300,000 to produce, and was overly dry. So, it already fails the fucking taste test. So, I mean, unless you like it dry.
And
but but it says expenses have fallen since then, and at this point, a quarter pound of the ground beef costs about $600.
Okay.
So, again, this is not a vegan option because this is still basically meat coming from an animal, although it's not. It has a torture and the fucking all that bad stuff attached to it in a sense,
Yeah.
Air quotes. But this is an option for those who are still trying to, keep their meat on their fucking diet.
Yeah,
which is fine.
Still trying to eat the meat dish, but cut back on the carbon footprint that their meal's gonna dish out.
Yeah, for sure. But again, since all this kind of stuff that you're gonna consume, you have to pass through the FDA. So I mean, I'm not a big fan of the FDA, for reasons that I've know of.
Yeah.
But so I don't know how good to trust them in regards to having them pass. Like, this meat is good to eat, because ultimately you don't know what the long-term cause of all this stuff is to your body.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
the human, But that's lab-grown meat for you. So if you don't want to give up your meat yet, you can try to do the lab-grown meat. Let us know how it tastes.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, man, it's a weird one for sure. But it's been only a few years since it's
You know what kind of what type of material they used to grow it? Like it's that the type of cell.
Mm-hmm.
It's like similar to like prenatal cells. Like what's the name for them?
Stem cells.
Yeah,
stem cells. Yeah.
Yeah, they're using some kind of stem cells, right?
Yeah,
like
they're using some sort
from
of
the
stem
animal
cell.
to. I wonder where they get those from. Like the same way, like.
Yeah, well, I mean, it says the meat is made by first taking a muscle sample from an animal. So I guess it's not a sample. I mean, I guess it's not a cell they get.
Well,
they collect stem cells from the
Yeah,
tissue.
From the tissue.
There's different variations of stem cells.
Yeah.
Some from prenatal, some from tissue.
Yeah.
There's all kinds.
Oh, okay, so these are like, all right, because I was thinking like, all right, so these cells are probably meant to be like forearm or like a shoulder, depending.
Something like that.
They're getting like this beef out
Yeah,
of
like
it.
a thigh. Like they just get a chicken thigh or something.
They're the beginnings of the cells.
Mhm.
Yeah, like in the growing stage, it just petri dish them,
It could be anything.
give them the right environment, let that piece grow.
Yes. Ears, noses.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, and I see,
I've seen some of that. I've seen them
some of
grow
that
fucking
stuff.
ears.
They'll grow a
It's
replacement
really weird.
ear for you on
Mhm.
your on your
On a
head.
pig, yeah,
Mhm.
or
Or on your head.
Yeah.
And they just cut it off and just
put it on.
do some weird shit off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what science, man. That's what fucking like bioscience has got into now. We're at the point where we're attempting to make food from stem cells, And again, that, in a sense, it's still not vegan, but it's supposed to be removing the environmental impact it has, and like, for animals as well. So I mean, that's an option here, but it's a weird one. It's for sure weird, just as weird as it was when stem cells were first introduced. Like,
Yeah.
That's just fucking crazy. But that's way above my pay grade and my knowledge. But
that might be like a couple years for that to be offered at a fast food restaurant, like we were talking about earlier, like
for sure
other meat options. That's crazy. I can't imagine when that comes up. You're getting something and it's like a petri dish meat option.
It's called McDonald's.
It's called McDonald's.
For real.
Hey, well, talking about McDonald's or other fast food chains. Oh, quick question, Drake. Can we turn that one down a little bit? The fan?
Oh,
Yeah. Please. Oh, okay, cool. Talking about fast food, have you guys heard of the KFC option that they have in Great Britain, like in England, United Kingdom?
No, I haven't.
It's like they're doing their own veggie chicken sandwich. Like it's a chicken sandwich made out of, plant-based.
Yeah, plant-based.
products. Yeah. So kind of like the Impossible Burger. I'm sure everybody at this point has heard of Impossible Burger or Beyond Burger.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have personally tried them. I have.
I have not. No.
So I'll be the judge, jury,
Yeah.
and executioner right now and
How was
say
it?
it's good, man. It's really good. Of course, I guess it depends where you get it from. I've had it from Carl's Jr. and we're not sponsored by Carl's Jr. But it was a good burger, man.
We could be.
we could be.
Could be.
Yeah,
Depends
get
how
in
you
contact
review
with
it
us.
right
Yeah,
now.
send us
Yeah.
a DM. But yeah, it's pretty good, man. It's pretty delicious. Obviously, there's your taste buds can still say like, hey, this is not meat, but for a quick second, you're like, oh fuck, okay, I see how this can be.
Now I'm super interested because
Yeah.
I want to try it because
Mhm.
I'm just interested. So do you eat meat before or do you eat meat at all?
Yeah, I eat meat. Yeah,
Oh,
I
so
do. Maybe like 70% omnivore, 30% vegan.
Oh, so you just
Usually-
try to try it.
Yeah.
Okay, now in your opinion, are you vegan or anything?
No.
Okay, in your opinion, would it be sacrilegious to put bacon on that?
Damn.
Because I really want to try it with bacon though.
Not if you're not vegan.
Hey,
like,
you know
it's
what?
just-
There's vegan bacon, man.
But I'm saying, but if for me,
Regular
like,
bacon.
Yeah, for me, yeah.
No,
regular.
Oh,
that'll be like a good halfway. You know, like you're saying, like you're not
Yeah.
vegan. You're trying to eat less meat. That's why sometimes
Exactly.
maybe I would
Mhm.
get it too. You know, and add the bacon to it. Maybe you did, but at least you're not eating the 8-ounce patty. You know, which I guess reading all this stuff, it adds up. Like
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
eating beef every single day. Like
I want to try it
Mm.
it
so
adds
bad.
up.
Hey, man, look, like he's saying, it's a good alternative in the sense that because you're not vegan, because you're not in that like plant-based diet, you even making a short change like that, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, sure, you're still
Yeah.
eating bacon, and
Yeah.
you're still basically being a market to that whole industry, but again, that's like
Yeah,
you're doing a fucking
it's a comparison, like a cheeseburger versus a veggie cheeseburger. It's like
No, I've done that before, like on the grill because I wanted to try it. But the veggie patties, yeah, they never mounted up to the burger.
Yeah.
The burger was too juicy. But I hear that these Beyonds and Impossibles are juicy.
yeah,
They
man.
they taste like meat and everything. But oh, I forgot what I was saying. I just started talking about the meat. Oh no, somebody
Yeah.
told me that the Whopper tastes exactly like a Whopper.
Mhm.
But I was like, that's the problem. It tastes like a Whopper, and I'm like, I don't want that. So
Oh, okay,
you're
'cause-
telling me Carl's Jr. has
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah,
for
Carl's
that.
Jr. is good. Yeah, the Carl's Jr. one's good. Again, that I've had other patties that are as delicious that are not fast food, and those
Yeah.
are even better.
yeah, probably.
Like I've had
better,
this
yeah.
black bean burger. Like again,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
yeah. I see. Look, I'm gonna tell everybody
Is
right
it-
now.
Is it that?
Is it what?
Is it that?
No, that one no. That
Oh,
one's just a
cool.
Beyond patty.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
I'll look
Yeah.
at. I don't know what it's made out of, but we'll look it up right now.
Dope.
But I've had a black bean burger. So to make things clear, again, I'm not a full vegan, and I will be a fucking dick to say I'm a full vegan and still be contradicting myself in a
Yeah.
bunch of points.
Yeah.
So that's not the case. I've gone to these little food festivals that they have. I've certainly made changes to my diet. Like I don't drink milk anymore. Like I was telling Angel, I don't eat hot dogs. I usually eat like an Italian Italian sausage alternative to whatever a hot dog is, and they're fucking good, man. They're made out of some weird ingredients. Not weird, but it's just you wouldn't think
Odd,
that makes a
yeah.
sausage, but it's
Oh,
really
like
fucking
brats
good.
and shit like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
But with meat in it.
no meat,
No meat.
no
okay.
meat. Yeah, and they're really good.
Okay.
So again, I'm not vegan, but I have changed my diet and I've seen how it affects me,
Yeah.
personally,
Yeah.
and it's changed my mind into what my carbon footprint is on a daily, especially how things are kind of going right now. It's shifted my mindset in regards to stuff. So now going back to like the patties, when I first started hearing about vegan food, I was ignorant, man. I was like, man, fuck that. Like, why don't you just eat meat? Like, what's the problem? Maybe you should just reduce your meat consumption and whatnot. But my whole idea was not to replace full meals with no meat and just veggies, because fuck veggies. You've hated them as a kid.
Sounds boring.
It sounds boring. There's no
But-
fun in them.
They're delicious.
No, it's because like most people, like you're raised as like, oh, I used to get punished with veggies. So it was like, hey, you finish your veggies. It was almost
Yeah,
like a
that's
punishment in a
very
way.
true,
Like, you can't leave the table till they're done. And it's like a whole bunch of negative connotations to vegetables. Like people grow up not knowing how to prepare them well or like
Yeah.
Mhm.
mix up things, be creative. So
Yeah.
it could be very bland if you're not,
For
trying.
me, I don't know if it was because my parents, but we always had like in our meats, it was always meat, veggies, like potatoes or peas and stuff mixed
Yeah.
with the meat and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And that's how it always was. So we always ate it, or the broccoli with the
Yeah.
chicken, or it was always something like that. We never like just ate straight corn.
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
Yeah, right. It was just part of a, I think, I don't know if where your parents come from, but I will assume they're some sort of Hispanic, Latino.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so like
Cuban, Puerto Rican.
I was telling Angel that because of that, at least in our culture, that's something that kind of goes with our dishes. You know,
Yeah.
it's just part of our culture, and you know that in itself, you know, I guess just the way we eat or the way the meat is produced, that just affects us as, you know, Hispanic Latinos are the ones with the highest rates of cardiovascular disease, and also because
What the
fuck, I was like, what the fuck? But but I'm saying in regards to, you know, our meat consumption,
Sorry.
the way the meat is produced is not the healthiest means of, you know, because they're not fucking testing every meat. They're just it's factory farming, dude.
That's the problem.
You know,
That's what sucks.
Yeah.
you know, so it's just quality, just producing, and not necessarily paying to the quality
Yeah.
to its full extent as you should be. You know, it's like you see your sick cow in the fucking backyard, you're gonna be like, dude, don't eat that cow.
Don't mess with
Well,
it.
no, and I was gonna say is it's what sucks is the food they waste. It's not the food they buy, they
Yeah.
consume. It's the food they waste because they don't want to be blamed for giving it to people and getting sued or something like that. But what's sad is what's happening in the Amazon, because supposedly that's because of farmer. Or that's because of no. Go ahead. That's because people want to consume. They want to clear that land to farm it
Right.
for
Yeah.
like cows and stuff. Supposedly, that's sad, bro.
Yeah, man, it's
Yeah, that's if that's what's going on, it's shady. It's shady, you know, like just like straight out burning people out of
Yeah.
their homes, like trying
Well,
to
no,
make it.
they're burning the rainforest.
Yeah, trying to make it difficult for them to even like fight back or like make a stand against them. It's like that kind of thing happens all the time when like with small groups and like in not a power position, you know, where like other people like that's like a movie right there, you know, somebody coming in and like burning your shit down so they could take it over. You know?
And it's happening around the world because India's trying to take over Kashmir. Russia took over Ukraine. Here in America, we just punked for the Dakota pipeline. It's like all these governments are just punking these small indigenous or small native cultures and just taking their land.
for expansion and ultimately,
Yeah.
you know, just make more space to create more.
It
and
started with
fucking
Russia and
more.
Ukraine. They just took the
Yeah.
Black Sea. Like you're gonna vote us out, or we're just gonna take it from you. I'm serious.
Yeah,
That's
it
what
was like,
happened.
what's gonna happen? Are you gonna retaliate? Or like,
Well, they tried to, but they couldn't really. And
Yeah.
to this day, Black Sea is controlled by Russia. It's supposedly
Yeah.
it's a part of Russia, but it's part of Ukraine.
Yeah, man. I mean, again, that's. I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah,
but
sorry. It's just crazy. This government, India's
yeah,
taking
I mean,
Kashmir.
there's just fucking weird shit going on.
yeah,
everywhere,
they're
man.
they're pushing it. Like I feel like a lot of governments around the world are like nowadays on media. Like you see social media, you see like a lot of things quickly, and it seems like there's a lot of issues going on in a lot of different places. And now it's like super visible. It's like everything's online. Like you see people striking back against their countries. Like shit going on in China. Like you're mentioning. Like it's like some gnarly times right now. You know, like.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna get harder with the more people too. So population grows. Like, who's gonna be able to control a small group of people is gonna be able to control the masses? It's
Yeah.
like, nah, that's a point. It's gonna tip over, you know. But I mean, unless
Or maybe
we die,
a small
there-
board of people because you got Google, Facebook, you got key people who could basically rule the world. If they got
True.
Yeah, they'll control what you see. You know, you
Yeah.
try to do some research online. Like they're choosing what's gonna pop up first. Like hardly ever people check on the third page, fourth page. You know, like you're getting the news right off the bat, right there.
just quick thing to bring back to the Impossible Burger here. Since you guys were asking about the the consistency of what it's made out of.
Yeah.
So it says traditional meat-free burgers are made out of a combination of soy, beans, and lentils.
Yeah.
And texture is nothing like beef. But the Impossible Burger, or kind of like the Beyond Burger, that it's when you cook it. Well, right here it says a slightly pink middle, juicy dribbles, a smoky flavor, and the ability to get the characteristically charred crust that only a grilled burger can offer.
Yeah.
And the patty even bleeds like beef.
That's
So-
kind of weird.
Yeah, you know. So
Yep.
if you
It's the whole package.
so we went from lab-grown meats. If you're not fully ready to replace animal, you know, meat and stuff, you have a fucking DNA clone of it. And this is a second option. You know, it looks like beef, it cooks like beef, but it's not beef. So this is, you know, for all you people who are kind of slowly trying to transition, this is what you kind of want to taste.
Isn't that a little funny how they were able to like, okay, what are the characteristics of meat? And they basically manufacture the meat to do that.
Yeah.
They said pink middle, all right, make
Yeah.
the ingredients in the middle more pink.
Yeah.
They said
Mhm.
crust, we're gonna make the ingredients
Using
on the
their
outside
beets.
crusty.
Smokiness. Like, add
you know,
some,
the
like,
smoke flavor in a bottle.
Smokes concentrate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
No, there is. There's this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Smoke flavor.
I tripped out the first time I saw it and used it. I was like, it literally tastes like smoke in
Yeah.
a bottle.
It's
See,
just concentrate.
See, so it's a blend of soy and potato proteins. This is different from Impossible Burger 1.0, which used wheat protein, and now the Burger 2.0 is gluten free.
Damn.
So it's been moving towards, again, meat alternatives, but in the sense of still trying to keep those people, and then just giving them options in regards to how, and once you're introduced to this, like when I was introduced to these type of burgers, I was still skeptical. It was a little weird. I felt a little disgusted just because I was like, oh, it's not burger, but it tastes like it, and it just feels weird because it feels fake.
Yeah.
So I was a little hesitant, but the way once you start, everything's in the sazon. You start cooking something, you make something delicious. Like no matter what it is, you're gonna make something bomb. It's gonna taste bomb. So that's what got me. That's what changed my perspective. Like it's just the way it was made.
No, I agree completely, and I'm gonna take your word up. I'm gonna try that. But what's the weirdest meat you ever tried? What's the weirdest burger?
The weirdest burger, I'll probably say it was like it was a Thai veggie burger. It was good, but it had like lima beans, had like some sort of soys, I think red peppers, and I forgot what. Lentils, and it was all like smashed.
I've had a bear burger and a bison burger.
Oh, you're talking about that crazy?
Oh, I mean,
I've had a bison burger. Bison burger is bomb.
Yeah. The bear was a little gamey.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it tastes kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, because they cooked it. It was tender, so I was able to chew it, but it just tasted a little weird.
That's the right way to describe it. Gamey.
Oh, you tried it?
No, I mean, like I could imagine, like
They always say gamey, and that doesn't mean. What does that mean?
It's like, funky.
Okay,
you want to call it like
it tastes like dry meat, like it was cured and then cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in Spanish, there's like machaca, and like there's like dry beefs or like.
So you know what a dry beef tastes like?
Yeah, it has like a funk to it. If you don't know about it, you're like, whoa.
Yes.
Some people are into it. That's the
Yes.
thing. Some people are not with it. It's like dry aged steaks, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
They get that extra layer of flavor. Some people are into,
I've
like.
never tried a dry steak, but I would.
Yeah, dude, they're
what kind of
they're
steak?
good.
Dry aged steak.
Dry aged steak. Ooh,
Yeah.
that sounds pretty
They
good.
dry it like in a room at a certain temperature, no?
Yeah, there's different methods. There's like dry aging. There's like wet aging. It's just basically letting the meat break down, and it tenderizes and increases the flavor and stuff like that.
I'm down, but it's usually too expensive for me.
Yeah, it's
Oh shit.
But if you
It's
got
fine.
some, I'm there, bro.
a little
Let me
piece.
know what's up with your barbecue.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, for
I just
sure.
want to give you guys a heads up.
Yeah.
Well, not you guys.
Oh,
sorry. But just quickly, because I'm just reading this and I forget. Like, if you go to Carl's Jr. Okay, so if you decide you kind of want to go on like on a vegan diet, or at least like a one more rounded one, like plant based, and kind of balance it out. For sure, this is one of the easiest ways. But if you think you're vegan or you want to go vegan, just know that the burgers at Carl's Jr. I don't think they're considered vegan because they still have cheese.
But you can just get it without cheese, right?
Yeah, if you get it without cheese or
okay.
mayonnaise, I think you're good.
Okay.
And wasn't there a scandal that they were cooking it on the same grills or something?
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah.
At some point they were cooking it.
They always do that.
That's
But,
so
like,
funny.
Just get over it. They're gonna do that. Nobody's gonna make a special grill for you.
See, it says France here.
They
I
need
think
to have a
last year.
second grill.
It says in 2018, France banned the terms burger, steak, sausages, or fillets from labels on vegan and vegetarian substitutes to remove the alleviate any confusion shoppers might have distinguishing fake meat from the real thing.
Okay.
So I mean, that's kind of like they're, this is fully vegan, and I think now, companies will get in trouble if they're like, oh, this is vegan, but then you sell it to somebody and it has animal products, you're fucked. You're
Yeah.
gonna, they're gonna come
Yeah,
after
it's
you.
like a big hot one to sell, like vegan,
Yeah.
organic, not GMO. Like a lot of companies,
That
like
brought down Kashi.
yeah,
They found out they were
Oh,
using
yeah,
GMO
yeah.
soybeans,
Yeah.
and it tanked them, and they were carrying
Yeah.
Kellogg's forever.
yeah, it's that healthy cereal.
Yeah,
so he thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, just having that little label will probably give you like a way bigger revenue for that item. So these
Mhm.
dudes are like, they're trying to like, if they can't put it in there, they'll give you a schematic of colors where green and blue, nature, like any way they could like get you to.
And you know what's funny is those
Trick
people
you.
would eat it and have no idea until somebody brings it up, and then they'd be outraged.
Yeah,
Like, oh my
nah, I
God,
mean-
I can't believe I was doing this.
Yeah, yeah, they were. I mean, yeah, they were okay during that time, right? When they were using it. But yeah, so I mean, going back to the thing here, so the conversation, so the whole idea of trying to reduce your consumption is, it says here, livestock is Earth's largest user of land, with about 80% of all farmland attributed to animal agriculture. So obviously, it's gonna affect the water usage, the consumption of the food that they're eating, so they can be able to grow nice
Yeah.
and chunky for you to eat.
Yeah.
And anything that's gonna be able to feed our population. According to this here, this is about 800 million people, which is gonna grow in the next couple of years. But at the same time, they're giving us a limit in regards to how much we have to control for climate change by 2050 in order to keep surviving our happy lives. But so I mean, this is another option, possible foods beyond meat. That's the next step in regards to trying to find something that's still meat. I mean, not meat, but it's an alternative for you to kind of easily phase into the next step in your diet, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like the whole vegan route is like, it's like you have to be like really committed. You have to like
For sure, man.
do your research and like have like a good idea of like dishes, like read on different cooking methods and like
Mhm.
a whole bunch of things that goes into it. And a lot of the times for like somebody out there, maybe it's like maybe a little too much. It's like it's too much to go cold turkey. Kind of in the sense that not because you're gonna be addicted to meat or anything like that, but just because the accessibility or you're not knowing new recipes and all this stuff. But I feel like just kind of like maybe being aware of like where the meat's coming from, what how much fuel it takes, how much like actual food, water, all these things that go into it. Like kind of like choosing to not eat meat every night for dinner, or like lowering it down, like that kind of thing does make a change, and it doesn't have to be drastic where you like completely get off meat. It doesn't have to be that way. You could always like kind of like balance your diet out a little bit more, and that helps as well. Because I know like the vegan option, like
the carnivore diet, that's the crazy one. That's
I heard
that's
that.
what I was
meat,
I was telling Lalo about it earlier too, like that's kind of like popular as well in a sense, and I was telling him that a lot of people think there's stuff online that says how meat is unhealthy for you and all these different things, and I was telling him that I feel like in a sense it can be unhealthy for you, but I don't feel all meat is the same, and it depends on a lot of factors, like these people you're mentioning, like carnivore diets, or like like a lot of people like in the popular like podcast world, all these things they talk about eating meat, and there's a lot of like a lot of hunters, hunting's becoming more popular in the recent years, and like talking about like wild game and all these like meats that are like natural as fuck, they're like out there roaming, like they never see a human, they're like running away from predators, and you go and get one, I guess, and you could eat this, and it's like it's like a way different alternative to like regular meat.
There's the people who believe they should kill their meat in order to eat it.
Exactly.
And then there's people who just eat straight meat. 90% of their meals eat all the time, and what I trip out is those people are usually very intelligent, or they had health problems and they claim it alleviates them. But I think we all need to be versatile when we eat, for the same reason you just said, because we don't know what's going to happen. And when you eat all of one thing and you get accustomed to it, then your body gets messed up.
Yeah, that's why I told Angel earlier, like I feel like a dick saying it. And I told him the same thing earlier, because I told him that my decision to cut down on the meat that I was eating wasn't necessarily because of climate and the animals, animal cruelty. Now, again, that sounds like a dick move, but I mean,
meat's delicious.
I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's
good. I'm being honest.
You gotta be, because people feel like that as well, and sometimes they don't even want to say it. They're like,
you're gonna be a social justice warrior. Is that what you're gonna be following?
I'm only a part-time social justice warrior. But again, those weren't my reasons to change my diet. Again, I still eat meat, but it's greatly reduced what I was eating. And I've noticed a few changes in my, just the way I carry myself, my body and stuff, and how it reacts to certain things. And that's why I did it, because I just started feeling better. My body started reacting differently, and I started knowing that it was less sluggish, like too much information, but I was maybe like less constipated, or like there was less water retention going on. And slowly I started seeing it, and I still eat it occasionally, but it's not as much. Like, for example, there was times where I'll eat meat and stuff, and I'll get like heartburn, like stomach burn. And that was every time I'll eat and stuff, right? So after I took a break, maybe for a few weeks or a month or so, and I slowly started like integrating meat into my diet again, I didn't get those reactions from it anymore. Because I guess I gave it time to, because I mean, red meat is supposed to inflame your gut. It causes inflammation. So that inflammation is just going to cause irritation at some point, and it's just going to cause all sorts of problems. So, I feel like once I reduced that consumption, my body's levels of acidity or something, I'm not a fucking scientist, but they got balanced out, and it just started making me feel better, once I introduced it back into my diet. So I've been more cautious about it, and it's moved on. From just being about me, so I can see more about the environment and the animals. And, I think that's just something that I personally had to go through in my way to kind of appreciate this kind of stuff.
Yeah, like the thing Dre mentioned earlier about like the carnivore diet, and you mentioning like kind of like getting meat out of your diet for a while to see how you if you get any different or you feel any different about yourself. I think a lot of people I think we all eat a lot of things that like kind of don't go well with our bodies, and we're kind of unconscious about it sometimes, because you eat a meal and you're eating like up to like 6, 7, 8 different types of foods in that meal, like the dishes, side dishes, the thing you wrap your meal in, and all these sauces, all these different condiments. And I feel a lot of people get a good reaction when they go in these strict diets where like they eliminate a lot of food out of their system, and they give themselves like a time to reset almost, and like what I hear about people eating the carnivore diet is, they're obviously eating nothing but beef, right? Beef, and they're eliminating like say sugar and like carbohydrates or like processed food and like all these other irritants, and next thing you know, you start feeling good maybe, but I don't think that's necessarily because beef will make you feel great. It's more like these people are like eliminating all these other things from their diet, and naturally their bodies are feeling better, and they're like, oh, maybe the meat is to be attributed to like feeling better. But I feel like in a sense it's like kind of eliminating stuff and letting your body kind of like balance out again, and you could do that kind of diet with like another thing, not say beef, you could try to go on like people cleanses, or like just be more aware, like try to eat less of this or whatever, and see how like you start to feel differently, or what kind of things kind of affect you,
right. See, that's one of the things I question sometimes when somebody does come up to you and they're like, oh, you should try you should be completely vegan or raw vegan or vegetarian, or even like go on a carnivore diet and stuff, because that ultimately our bodies are all different, and each of us have little things that we don't know.
Everything in moderation. I mean, we should all just eat everything key. In moderation. Like I love ice cream, but I guess one day I ate too much and it broke me to the point where if I eat too much, it's gonna fuck me up. But before that, for some reason, I could eat and drink and eat bowls of cereal. Like dairy didn't fuck me up, but one day I guess I did too much of it, and now I can't do too much dairy. It'll fuck me up. But the homie, this guy is called the homie on YouTube. He said, "Damn, I feel bad right now. I'm eating pastors, asada, and pollo by itself. No tortillas.
Save us one. Yeah, that's why they don't.
No tortillas though. Like,
no tortillas.
That's good, man.
A lettuce wrap.
That's good. Like
that'd be a dope ass cereal. Asada.
Yeah, it's funny how I say with like the fucking Italian sausage that I found. So Walmart right now, Walmart's a fucking big corporation, right? But I'm still saying their name here. But point is, that's one of the locations. Martwall. That's one of the locations around here, like this General Bell Garden, Southgate, Huntington Park area. Yeah. That has vegan, what's it called? Options in store. You can go in the store and fucking buy something. Yeah. So props to giving that option to people. And again, a lot of more restaurants here are giving those options. So I think that's cool that although you don't want to become vegan, the people who are vegan, they have the option to go and do their part. But I'm sorry. The whole point is just that Italian sausages with a Roman leaf lettuce and some fucking ketchup replace the bun. That replaces the bun and the actual, pork sausage. Yeah. Dude, bomb.
I bet you can throw some barbecue sauce on there too.
Dude, I'm pretty sure you can.
You could just tell, like, you could probably think that's a barbecue. But I was going to say, Target doesn't have no vegan options.
Target does too.
They probably do too.
Because I know they have vegetarian. My girl's vegetarian, but she's not vegan, so that's why I'm not sure.
Yeah, they do have some. They have vegan patties there, or like vegan.
But they don't have the good stuff. That's like Morningstar and other stuff, and I'm like,
hey, Morningstar has some pretty good, some pretty good patties.
You know what's dope that I'll eat all day over the real stuff is soy chorizo.
Dude, that's just bomb.
Chorizo. All day, bro. That is bomb.
Yeah, I mean, like sometimes like regular chorizo is a little too much. You like biting on it, and it's like, dang, what is this? Like, fucking some kind of like
the
plastic
toenail
fibers or like ligaments, like. Even beef sometimes will throw me off. Just like kind of looking at it, like sometimes
Yeah.
some
Like
days it's
regular
like
beef?
cool,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
cool with
yeah,
it,
yeah.
and some other days it's like I'm not feeling it
It has
kind
to
of
be
thing.
burnt for me because I can't see any red. I don't like that shit.
Yeah. I mean, like I feel
Yeah,
like
it's favorite.
I feel like in the recent years, like in the past, like recent years and shit, like the whole like idea of like people consuming less meat has been growing more and more popular. Like, but like people exposing like the shit that goes on, like the factories and shit, you know, like animals being treated fairly and all this crazy shit. Like, it became more like of a fucking subject for people to like speak on. And
She said, I want to pull this article up, this video real quick. So the headline. So before we move in there, real quick. So as we all know, we live in the United States, and whether you think of it or not, we're a first world country. We're not third world. We're not second world. We're living pretty fucking good compared to other people, right?
like
So-
in the upper echelon, like,
Yeah.
just being in the U.S.
You know, so-
it's like, damn.
Because of that, I mean, yes, there's a huge problem with all this meat consumption and, you know, all this global stuff that's going on, and people are more conscious about how they perceive what an animal life is, right? So again, I like to think that that's in a sense a privilege for us, because we have the right to say, I don't want this fucking you have a right to question it, to just be picky in a sense, you know. And other countries, they don't have that liberty, you know, because of their resources or something that's going on.
Yeah.
So in this video, and the headline says,
That's a complaint.
yeah, you know, exactly. And anybody else somewhere else will say, oh, you guys are just like complaining, you know, type of thing. But this video says, video of British woman berating and attacking a chicken seller in Morocco goes viral. So a European chick, some white girl, she was in, I'm assuming she's white, but she's from the first world. Let's call her that.
Yeah.
She goes, she's in Morocco, and she started. Oh shit! Sorry, my bad.
Oh, no, I got it. Go ahead.
Oh, cool. So let me just read the headline so we can get out a little bit. So she goes, she's basically a British tourist harassing a chicken seller for keeping chickens in a cage. So as you know, here in the United States, that's one of the things, controversies. California passed a law a few years ago saying that they wanted to do cage-free eggs and stuff, right? So she's going there, and then this is her here. She's making a big deal because there's chickens locked up in a cage or in a crate in Morocco, selling them.
But this is in America, right?
No.
It's not America, it's Morocco, yeah.
They like to use cunt a lot, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, she's, you know, protesting against the fact that they're caged. You can't really understand what they're saying here because it's really noisy.
Why is that guy backing up, though?
Oh, she's on top of the cages now.
Yeah.
She's trying to
So,
open
yeah,
it.
she's trying to open it
That
to
guy's
release
trying
him.
to-
Yeah, she's trying to hold him. The guy's holding her back. So yeah,
Damn, she's trying to bite that guy.
she she's going full social justice right now. And look, I think my opinion, I think, and the way we live and the way we have the luxury to be able to go to the fucking store every day and buy eggs, as many eggs as we want, we have the right to say, okay, they're being mass produced, they're being tortured in a way, because again, it's factory farming. It's completely soulless. It's a soulless act of just being there and making sure these animals get ready to be sold for somebody to eat. But in this case, Morocco, I'm sure it's not a fully poor country, but it's a smaller population for sure. The demand for these type of items is more scarce, and a lot of these people are mostly raising their animals on themselves. You know, they have a fucking chicken coop, they have goats and cows and everything that they're raising, and they're using that to make their livelihood by selling the products for somebody to eat. You know, so there's a big difference between ways of living in these countries. So I don't necessarily agree with her in this video, because again, you don't know what's going into it. You know, if the lady was fucking slitting the throats, which I'm sure she'll do at some point, she's gonna slit the throat in front of everybody. But just basically display them in the sense that it's gonna be, used not in the form of sustaining somebody, locally. I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with her, but
Yeah,
that's just my
I mean,
fucking 2 cents on
she's
that.
in another world, she's in another person's home country, another culture. Like, to some degree, she has to respect as well. Like, yeah, maybe she doesn't agree with those things, but I mean, like, her doing all those things, she could possibly get in trouble herself with the law. Like,
Yeah.
Doing these things or whatever. But I mean, like, people are very passionate about certain things, and like, she's making a whole scene about it. But
Yeah, well, now it
it's,
says
it's,
abusive British tourists went further to trying to punch the Moroccan chicken seller. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Just let them sell their chickens, man. But again, yeah, that's the difference. It's just factory farming here is just out of hand. Again, it's just this massive fucking industry that doesn't care about anything besides just making profits off of their stuff and just keep selling it and selling it. But again, that's just something that we have. That's a problem with us because we are the largest meat consumptionist in this side of the fucking world, at least.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not eating as much meat as we are. And there's street vendors selling chicken, which is like it's another option as well for like we were talking earlier about like different types of I guess animals or different type of options of meat have different levels of carbon footprint, like beef probably being at the top and pork and going down from like chicken to like probably fish being at the lowest. And like I was saying earlier, I'm not vegan as well, so sometimes I have to I just eat other stuff, like not necessarily eating beef every time, even though like I do like beef, like I think to myself too, like I know it's gonna be hard because a lot of people are like they're ingrained, like you're saying, like they grow up eating meat dishes and it's not just about like eating like we were reading articles that spoke about like like they're feeding this many amounts of like calories worth of energy to the cattle and like corn or like
all right, like what
oats
goes behind
or all these different things, and then they're trying to like say like this kind of energy fuel into a human would feed way more people than the actual beef you're feeding to feed the person. But I was telling Lalo, like nowadays, like who eats for energy? Like I don't know anybody who eats for fuel unless like I'm looking at these like people online that I listen to podcasts, like people like athletes and shit, and most of us eat for like comfort or like pleasure or like all these different feelings, that is besides like feeling yourself for like a workout or for your day kind of thing. Like I feel like eating is like super emotional, like there's a whole bunch of feelings in there, and it's hard for people to like let go of a dish that your mom made for you, or like growing up eating, smelling things, remembering the feelings. Like that's gonna be hard, like
for sure. I mean, like ultimately, like you can say that ancestors and stuff, they'll eat meat. I mean, again, I love meat, and I'm sure I'm gonna keep loving it, but I know I have a responsibility to myself and at this point to the environment around me to make better decisions in regards to what I'm gonna be consuming. So I'm gonna be more specific from where I get my stuff from, when I decide to eat it, and then I know when I'm not eating it, I'm doing at least some part. At least it feels to me that it's some part that it's one less person that's creating a bigger footprint than they should be. Yeah. And I think I really do think we should be more self-conscious about that now. We only have a few years here, man. Like, if you look realistically at our lifespan, we have, let's just say 70 years. Anybody who's listening to this.
70, like your shit's fucking up. Your hips. But nowadays, like I'm seeing these generation of people who are like in their 50, like deep 50, mid 50s, like close to 60, and they look like their shit's still put together, like
I have a theory that the government saw what happened letting people live to 70, 80, 90, 100, and they're now starting to kill people at 50, 60, 70.
Damn.
Shit, it's the fucking
kill switches.
It's the food, man. Like you said, the number one killer in the US. It's
cardiovascular.
Yeah, cardiovascular diseases.
Like, we're not letting this happen again. Start killing them young.
Yeah, nah, man, that's how they get you. It's so internally. You think it's just gonna drop a bomb on you, but it's a process. It's just slowly poisoning you through your water, through whatever your intakes of, energy is, like you said, and like that. I'm not saying the government is doing that, but maybe they are. But I think we should all be a little bit more conscious about that kind of stuff for sure. That's the clock, right? That's the correct time. Okay, cool. So we got 2 minutes here before we wrap this up. All I wanted to do is just really end it on, just saying, you just be fucking just do research on your own, man. That's what's key. If anybody comes and tells you to eat a certain way, it's fine, but it's up to you to ultimately make those decisions and do it because you have a reason to do it. Even if it's that selfish as doing it just for yourself in the beginning. Slowly, I'm sure you open your mind to different things, just as I am, and I think that just helps your fucking world, man. It helps your environment for sure. So
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
man.
Like the whole like the whole industry, like that kind of thing. Like back in the day when I was a freshman in high school, I got to work at a dairy farm, and never really been a milk drinker. But after that experience, it kind of was like, yeah, definitely not gonna drink milk. Like I still ate meat because I felt like I didn't see that kind of industry. Like I saw the milk one, that kind of like put me away from it, like hardcore. And I feel like when people like see these things, like if they're exposed to it, I feel like more people would choose not to drink milk if they saw like what really
Yeah, what
happens,
goes
like
into
how
it.
it's like. Have you ever milked a cow? Like, and have you seen like it could look gnarly, you know? And this is happening for
Yeah.
thousands of cows at the same time, and like
Mhm.
there's a lot of fun going on there. And like I feel like people just need to, like you said, research or like kind of be aware of things, and that'll probably like have you like choose the glass of alternative, like the
Mhm.
guest that was supposed to come in, you know, like alternative dairies, like oats or like
Yeah.
or
Like,
all these different things out there, you know. And I feel like if they're exposed to it, like, people will make the natural decision will be there, like
yeah. I mean,
kinda
as soon and as again, just before we wrap this up, giving the public those alternatives, it's just gonna open them for the opportunity to say, "Hey, I'm just gonna try this out," and then just see how delicious it could be. Because again, I'm telling you, everybody should go right now. Go to some fucking vegan food festival or lonchera, even if it's a Mexican vegan taco spot. You're gonna love it. Trust me, you're gonna love it, and then you're gonna go back, and then you're gonna say, "Okay, I'm gonna stop eating so many tacos," which is fucking hard to say, but you're gonna be eating a different cuisine, man, different palates. So
yeah.
check it out. It's gonna be fucking bomb. And before we finish this, because I have 10 seconds left, the government is not gonna poison you. I'm kidding. They are. They're doing it right now. But thank you everybody for being here. Peace out. Check you guys out next time.
Right on. Peace out, guys.
The button to begin.